Warrant officers have to. I'm really afraid for the country. I believe certain people in the ad hoc committee are playing politics with the future of the South African Police Service.
But there's been an allegation that Mukwanas was not supposed to be promoted twice.
Warrant officers have to go for clearance. Captains, colonels have to go for clearance. But amongst those 200 and odd sub-generals, we're talking brigadiers, we're talking major generals, lieutenant generals, and the national commissioner. There's a clear problem with obtaining security clearance. I'm really afraid for the country.
Everybody that has been mentioned in the commission must be investigated.
I'm interested in his ability to make things better for poor people. I will be satisfied once a sober judge makes a sober ruling.
Good afternoon. My name is Azuyangwi Maumera. I welcome you on the View South African podcast, which is our first episode. And with me, I'm with Adams, a member of parliament, where we need to dissect and find out what is happening in the parliament. Good afternoon, Adams.
Good afternoon, Bishop.
Tell me what's happening in the ad hoc.
I'm scared. I'm really afraid for the country. I believe certain people in the ad hoc committee are playing politics with the future of the South African Police Service.
So you are saying that we are not safe with the ad hoc committee currently?
No, not at all. I made an appeal, I think, at Honorable Skosana when I was testifying. I said to him, treat all evidence the same. It's not happening. It's just not happening.
You are a member of parliament against General with the IDEC. How far is the matter?
Well, General Kumalo has been arrested. And I didn't open the case with the IDEC. I laid three cases at three different police stations. And when it became apparent to me that the South African Police Services had no intention of investigating its own, I reached generals, the IDAC.
Okay.
So General Kumalo has been arrested. This is overlooked. He's been arrested. He is before the courts.
So what do
So General Kumalo is now a suspect. He's an accused.
What do you say? Because you said General Kumalo is an accused. And General Kumalo is at work currently and is dealing with the affairs of this country. Are you saying that we have been led by a criminal in the South African police? And who is that man is dealing with the intelligence of the country?
We are, our intelligence, the South African police intelligence, is being head by a possible criminal, by a criminally accused person. But it gets worse than that. When he goes on leave, the intelligence of SAPS is being led.
That has been said that Mkwanas is a whistleblower.
Mkwanazi cannot be a whistleblower. I'm really afraid for the country. I believe certain people in the ad hoc committee are playing politics with the future of the South African Police Service.
But there's been an allegation that Mkwanas was not supposed to be promoted twice.
Warrant officers have to go for clearance. Captains have to go for clearance. Colonels have to go for clearance. But amongst those 200 and odd sub-generals, we're talking brigadiers, we're talking major generals, lieutenant generals, and the national commissioner. There's a clear problem with obtaining security clearance. I'm really afraid for the country.
Everybody that has been mentioned in the commission must be investigated.
I'm interested in his ability to make things better for poor people. I will be satisfied once a sober judge makes a sober ruling.
Good afternoon. My name is Azuyangwi Maumera. I welcome you on the View South African podcast, which is our first episode. And with me, I'm with Adams, a member of parliament, where we need to dissect and find out what is happening in the parliament. Good afternoon, Adams.
Good afternoon, Bishop.
Tell me what's happening in the ad hoc.
I'm scared. I'm really afraid for the country. I believe certain people in the ad hoc committee are playing politics with the future in police service.
So you are saying that we are not safe with the ad hoc committee currently?
No, not at all. I made an appeal, I think it was to Honorable Skosana when I was testifying. I said to him, treat all evidence the same, treat all witnesses the same. It's not happening. It's just not happening.
You are a member of parliament who have opened a case against General Khumalo, and you did it with the IDEC. How far is the matter?
Well, General Khumalo has been arrested. And I didn't open the case with the IDEC. I laid 3 cases at 3 different police stations. And when it became apparent to me that the South African police services had no intention of investigating its own generals, I referred it to the IDEC.
Okay.
So General Khumalo has been arrested. This is overlooked. He's been arrested. He is before the courts.
So what do
So
you,
General Khumalo is now a suspect. He's an accused.
what do you say? Because you said General Khumalo is an accused, and General Khumalo is at work currently and is dealing with the affairs of this country. Are you saying that we have been led by a criminal in the South African police, and who is that man is dealing with the intelligence of the country?
We are, our intelligence, the South African police intelligence, is being head by a possible criminal, by a criminally accused person. But it gets worse than that. When he goes on leave, the intelligence of SAPS is being led by a convicted criminal, General Madondo. So if South Africans are not afraid, if they're not concerned about the affairs of the SAPS, if they think that we are in good hands because one man called a press conference, they got another thing coming. You must also remember, statistically, the man that called the press conference, that makes all these accusations on the 6th of July and accuses politicians of protecting cartels, he's the worst performing provincial commissioner in the history of democracy.
What do you say? What is your views on the narrative that has been said?
Mkwanazi cannot be a whistleblower because when he confesses to becoming aware of the wrongdoings of Beketele, what does he do? Does he blow the whistle? No. By his own admission, he distances himself. Now, he's one of the most politicized policemen in the country. To ask, what credibility does this man have? We also have to ask a very simple question. When we speak of political killings in KZN, how is it possible that Mkwanazi not once mentions the IFP?
Do you suggest that IFP somewhere, somehow, it's sleeping in the same bed with Mkwanazi?
Well, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that political killings, it was marketed almost as, the IFP was almost branded by other parties as the party that specialized in political killing. So if we're talking political killings, why did the IFP's name not come up once by the Provincial Commission of KZN? But when you delve into the history of it all, it makes sense. Mkwanazi doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't have the clearance to be authorized to act in that position. He should never enter that office. He should never in that office. Remember, on becoming a provincial commissioner, the oath of office is as follows. Upon me, myself, obtaining and maintaining top secret clearance. He never obtained it. He's never maintained it. Now, why is South Africa not asking this, hello, General? Why don't you have top secret clearance? What is preventing you obtaining top secret clearance? Are you perhaps afraid of the polygraph? Have you committed acts you shouldn't have? Are there things hanging over your head? Because warrant officers have to go for clearance. Captains have to go for clearance. Colonels have to go for clearance. But amongst those 200 and odd sub-generals, we're talking brigadiers, we're talking major generals, lieutenant generals, and the national commissioner. There's a clear problem with obtaining security clearance. Because remember, for 5 years, Masimola, our national commissioner, operated without top-level security clearance.
Are you serious?
Google it.
Are you saying that we are led by people who do not have top-level clearance?
We are led by people who have problems obtaining top-level clearance. Remember, Khumalo has 2 clearances. The first one was cooked. Fraudulent. It was obtained within days. It takes somewhere between 12 and 18 months for the process to follow.
Adams, you laid charge in a police station. What were those charges, and what influenced you to open those charges?
So let me answer you like this. I didn't tell SAPS what to do. I said in my statement, this is what I have in my possession. I'm willing to hand this over. I didn't say lay a charge of fraud and lay a charge of this and that. No. Because remember, the evidence I had, it needed to be verified. I'm not an investigator. This evidence seems serious. It seems serious enough for me not to dismiss it. So I didn't say to SAPS, General Khumalo has stolen X or done X. I just said, this is what I have. Please have a look. They were arrested later.
Are you satisfied?
I will be satisfied once a sober judge makes a sober ruling. Right now, the man is innocent until proven guilty. That's what the law says. So as far as I'm concerned, he's an accused.
What do you say about the top generals in the SAPS? Do we have gangsterism style in the SAPS operating in the man in blue uniform?
You know, in the Western Cape, there's a finding that rests with the premier that's never been disclosed, that the top management of SAPS in the Western Cape is colluding with the numbers gang. There's a finding. Remember?
And this is particular.
But no, I'm not saying particular, it says top management.
Is this top management?
The premier must disclose. Is it particular? Is it Mahashalala?
I'm saying if there is a problem in the Western Cape and the report of the premier like the way you said, it's alleged that the top management of the SAPS of the Western Cape are colluding with gangs. That simply means that it starts with the leader, and the leader is particular. What is particular doing with that report?
Now, here's the damning part of it all. If it's not General Particular, why is he not acted against the top management name in the report? Why is he not acted? Because they're all still in their positions. Now, here, Bishop, is where it gets very tricky. So I think it was 6 years ago or 7 years ago when a Lieutenant Colonel Prinsloo was found guilty in the High Court of selling 27,000 guns to the gangs on the Cape Flats. One man took the fall. He was sentenced to 15 years for 27,000 guns. It's impossible for one man to facilitate that kind of numbers. It's impossible. There's a link. There's a chain. There's a whole chain, right? But when Prinsloo gets paroled after 6 or 7 years, SAPS doesn't object. That deal was facilitated. You go and do these few years, shut up about it, you keep your money, and just leave the rest of us. I'm telling you this happened. Was particularly involved? I don't know.
Just tell me, with the issue of political interference within the SAPS, what do you make of Mukwana's being promoted, I think twice or 3 times, I stand to be corrected, by the SAPS, I think it's in 2010 or 2011, somewhere there, which I can't remember. There's been an allegation that Mukwana's was not supposed to be promoted twice to be in the rank of Lieutenant General. I stand to be corrected.
The man's 3 months as a major general. And then he was promoted to lieutenant general, acting national commissioner. All this done under the watch of Beckett clearly. Now say it slowly. Say it slowly.
Why is that matter not being investigated?
Oh, we're going to push for it to be investigated. But the allegations.
Is it not criminal?
Hold on. We'll leave that for the courts to decide. But now there are also allegations, and the rumors are getting louder, and we are investigating it at this moment, that General Khumalo was a brigadier general for 3 months. And then he became major general. So we're looking at that. But it wouldn't surprise us. Because if you look at the chain of events in the last couple of months, something sinister is at work here. And it's beginning to become very clear to us that possibly criminally inclined people are being promoted within the SAPS with a view to hand it over to the underworld.
So do you think that this press conference by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi was a set of things? It was something that has been pre-planned with a certain agenda?
Bishop, I want you to remember, after that press conference, when Mkhwanazi was all the rage, people were buying Mkhwanazi sweaters. People were screaming Mkhwanazi for president. I was the only member of parliament out of 400 who stood up and said, crap, what utter nonsense. You know why I said that? Because Mkhwanazi has since confirmed certain things. Like the national commissioner was at the gates of prison when he called that press conference. He did it to save his bra.
So
You
you want to say that Masebula was supposed to be arrested?
I didn't say it. Mkhwanazi said it. There's clearly some type of investigation, the national commissioner. And
if there is an investigations, you see there is the recommendation by President Cyril Ramaphosa says that everybody that has been mentioned in the commission must be investigated. You have the General Mkhwanazi and then General Khumalo, who are also being mentioned. General Mkhwanazi said that he interfered with a drug dealer, or he interfered with a suspected drug dealer within the prison. And secondly, that General Khumalo received a bribe, let me retract this, that some of the people that were working with General Khumalo in the PKTT received bribed in one of the universities, I think it was Fort Hare. And those people are not investigated. And secondly, you find that General Sbiya, who is being fingered in a number of things, and then Minister Senzo Mtun and the Chief of Staff, their gadgets get confiscated. And do you think that this process is fair? I mean, others have mentioned this side. Kate Matala is saying that I gave Becky Cele this much, and there's no investigations to that.
So let me assist you with a little bit of knowledge that I have. There's no fair process here. The PKTT goes and confiscates a minister's phone, and nobody in the country says anything. The PKTT, here's Mkhwanazi's argument. It was set up by the president via an interministerial committee and given its mandate to investigate political killings. That's the truth. No one can argue with Mkhwanazi about that. But now, let Mkhwanazi answer this question. Who changed the mandate of the PKTT? Because confiscating a phone from a minister is not a politically motivated killing. Chasing down Jerry Bashogho was not a politically motivated thing. So, guarding Khumalo at the ad hoc committee, it's not politically motivated. There's no killing there. Who changed the mandate of the PKTT and when and why? And show us the minutes of that in its interministerial meeting. Because when it came to the disbandment of the PKTT, Mkhwanazi and Masimola were adamant. The president set this up, minister. You have no power over this. Fine, let's accept that for now. But then, who had the power to change the mandate? Khumalo? Masimola? Mkhwanazi? Who do these people
do you think General Khumalo is the best a general in what he's doing at a crime intelligence? Do you think the man is empowered to do so?
Anybody who watched his testimony at the ad hoc can tell you that this is not fit to be the head of intelligence. He's not fit.
What do you think so? I mean, the man is it's claiming that they have done a lot of arrest.
So let me explain something to you. He speaks of the methodology that he's invented. And then you find out that it's the same methodology that the Scorpions were using 15 years ago. But he's claiming credit for it.
I've seen that.
He's claiming credit for it. So if he's so good, why is it?
Was he not part of Scorpion?
I actually don't know. I must check up. I don't think so. Because if he was, he'd be smart enough to know that I can't claim this. But then again, with him, you never know. But let me give you a hint.
Do we have cartel in the SAPS?
I believe that the cartel in the SAPS, might possibly be. I can't say that it is. Might possibly be. General Masimola, General Kumalo, General Mukanazi, and their cohorts.
What do you allege that they are cartels?
There are cartels operating on these shores. The Colombians are here. The Bulgarians are here. The Russians are here. They're here. But you're telling me that two whole lieutenant generals, Mukwanaz and Kumalo, sat in that ad hoc and couldn't name these cartels. Why not? Why is nobody in this country asking, why not?
Because we don't know. I mean, we are not empowered to know those things.
Bishop,
you are in the parliament, you have materials to...
Bishop.
You got the resources to go and find out all this.
There's no way that criminality flourishes at the level it does in this country without the buy-in of the very top heads of SAPS. Can we agree on that? Can we agree on that?
No.
Now let me assist you. Because it's in my submission. And it's there with evidence that there was a massive drug bust in Naleni in KZN. And these drugs were bust by a Western Cape team. 100 million rands worth of mandrax. It was never mentioned in the media. So when I question in committee, why, General, don't you claim credit for this? They said, no, further investigation. I said, brilliant. 18 months later, we go back, we check that same case number. It doesn't speak of mandrax, it speaks of firearms. Those drugs have been stolen from SAP's custody and they found their way to the streets.
And they were stolen from where?
From wherever they booked it in. And this is standard operating procedure within the SAPS while Masimola is National Commissioner and while Dumisani Kumalo is the head of intelligence.
But don't you think Masimola is rooting out corruption within the SAPS?
No. I think
you don't think so?
I think he's doing his best. I think he's doing his best to do nothing.
No, he is doing best to do nothing.
And I think he's excelling. I think he's excelling. I think he's excelling. Because how do you...
I want to ask you about the AKA matter.
That's one thing I'm not all that clued up on, because there's so much flying around. So I'm going to tread very carefully around what you ask me here, and I hope you excuse me.
No, but I'm saying, as a member of parliament, you have a duty because voters see you as one of the people that could bring order, peace. They trusted you with their vote. And the issue of the accountability, because we need to ask you as citizens that, Adams, what is happening on the AKA's matter and Senzo's matter? Because the Senzo trial has been there for too long. In AK's matter, the person who transferred 800,000, he's not been taken to task. But the NPA used that 800,000 at court in the first appearance to say, this is the proof that leaders in the arrest of this man who have received money, and the money was shared. And this is where General Mkwanas is. Until today, we still have question. I mean, I'm a layman and I want to understand that. Does this matter not come to your head that we really need to find out what is actually happening as a parliament into the matters of AKAs, in the matter of Senzo, because even until today, we are still stuck.
Let me help you out with that. I'm going to take it in a different direction. The AKA murder, the Senzo Moivo murder. I mean, these are two of our brightest, two of our best. That's political connectivity at its best. Now, if you want to speak political interference within the South African police services, look at those two. Look at those two boys. What happened to them?
Yes.
And what hasn't happened since.
And
it's all politically motivated. But let me take you something to a clearer point. And this is where the ANC has upset me. You know, Sindiso Magaka was one of their own.
Yes. Even that case.
And he was murdered.
Yes.
Now, he was murdered with an AK-47 that was purchased with the funds of crime intelligence. One of the hitmen gives a written confession. He says, we were driven to the scene by the SAPs. We were escorted from the scene by the SAPs.
From KZN?
In a written confession, it's in my submission. When asked about the progress on the Sindiso murder, what does General Kumalo say? We are still investigating. 5 years later.
So it
got a
has been
hitman.
5 years.
You got a hitman in a cell. Can't go anywhere. Begging to tell the truth. And you've got a whole head of intelligence saying, we are still investigating. So, now ask yourself why they're still investigating. Is it because they're culpable because they supplied the gun? Is it because they are afraid of the officers who escorted them to and from the scene? Is it because they are involved in all of it?
Wow.
Why is the ANC so quiet? Why? They promised that boy's mother justice, did they not? Justice is knocking on the door. There's a man saying, I'll tell you what happened. Why is the ANC so quiet?
But you, as a member of parliament, have you ever written to the current minister and actually to the president to simply say, there is the man who is in prison in the matter of Sindiso Magaka? Because it pissed me off to see what is happening in the case of Senzo Meiwa. Particularly as I'm an Orlando Pirates fan. I support the Orlando Pirates. And it pissed me off to see the state playing in the gallery, particularly the SAPS and the NPA injustice, in the gallery to demonstrate things that is not taking anywhere. We need answers in what has happened. And I'm appealing to you as a member of parliament. Can you actually tell us where will we ever get the truth on Sindiso Magaka's murder?
Not while,
we'll ever get the truth in AKA's murder.
Chief, not while Masimola is commissioner, not while Kumalo is the DivCom of intelligence, and not while Mkwanazi is the provincial commissioner of KZN.
What do you think? What is your view on the current minister of police?
Kachalia. I think he's a seat warmer. I think he's spineless. And I think we could have done better. I've written emails to that man asking for information about the killing of young children in KZN. He's not responded. I mean, is that not important to him? It's important to me. And my base is the colored community.
Why don't you reach out to his boss or to the speaker? Because you are a member of parliament.
You see, it was my plan, because I'm set to appear in court on the Kumalo issues. I'm the witness. It was my plan to tell it all in court. Because parliament is a process, man, and it takes forever. Well, not that the courts go any faster.
Kumalo is back at work.
No explanation offered. The policy says he should be suspended, but there's no policy in place. You see, even that press conference that Mkwanazi called, he broke protocol.
And he's not charged
And
for
he's not charged for it. As a matter of fact, he had the blessing of the National Commissioner. Now, would it surprise you if I told you that Kumalo's appointment was supposed to be passed through Parliament? But it wasn't, because he didn't have the qualification for the job. Do you understand what we're dealing with here? Do you understand what Mkwanazi asked, demands that I shut up about? Hey? Yeah. Don't you hear the man? I've mishandled information. How have I mishandled it?
There is a statement that General Mkwanazi said at Parliament that worries me, including and General who is this general? You know, when he says that if you are pushed too hard, he said, don't push us too hard, because we have reports of intelligence against you in his first appearance. I stand to be corrected if I did not heard him correctly. And from then, I see MK Bin and ANC, all these members of parliament, not really investigating what Mkwanas have said. I mean, what is this ad hoc doing that you investigate the CV of a person?
Hence my appeal to the ad hoc. Treat all witnesses the same. Because some witnesses were brought to be humiliated and some were brought so they could take selfies with them.
Why does you as a member of parliament, I mean, you are here and I can't access others. Don't you feel shame that you sit in parliament and you talk about a WhatsApp between McBride and a lady in the ad hoc committee dealing with the serious allegations of this matter? Because instead of investigating, because from what we've heard in the press conference from Mkwanas, 80% of what the parliament is doing, it's not even relevant, and it's a shame to this country.
You know, Chief, let me put it to you like this. Apples and apples. I don't understand how the party that's representing Zuma can question other people's morality and affairs. I don't understand. Because it just makes no sense. Was it right what McBride did? Was it wrong what I don't know. But does it impact on the evidence before the committee? Because when they can't attack the evidence, they attack the person. They attack the reputation. So all I'm saying is, you know, a question about morality, if it was coming from the ACDP, it would have been okay. But not from the MKP. Not from the MKP. I mean, let's keep it real here, man.
Okay.
Zuma,
But my question is that
because no, let me put it into context for you. Because when Zuma was president, I got angry when his name was in the paper every second day for whatever it is, affair, baby, girlfriend, because I'm interested in his ability to make things better for poor people. I literally don't care who he's sleeping with. That's my. But now, I would like to see that same respect being given to McBride.
Because my worry is that I think you guys as parliament, you take us for a ride, most of you politicians, that you sit in the parliament and you are giggling each other, you're busy mocking each other, and you left the real issues that man and woman in the street are not safe. And you're busy talking about this one girlfriends and this one boyfriend. That thing has nothing to do with the crime of Cindy Somagacha and with the interference of the police in the street.
Bishop, let me tell you something. When I came to that committee, when I came to Parliament, I was only going to go to the police committee. I wasn't going to go anywhere else. Because where I live, we're losing children. 10 a day. 10 a day. Seven on a good day. So for me, this is personal. This is personal. So when you have people like Kumalo paying Vusicat 50 million, spending 100 million on hotels, 200 million on laptops, God knows what else, taking overseas 5-star trips, 20 people at a time, while children are dying on the Cape Flats, I take it personally. Because let me tell you why. You know what we could do with 100 million? We could make our areas safer. These people are spending, they're splurging. They're living 5-star. There's Louis Vuitton bags, luxury vehicles. When I have to drive past a police van that's stuck along the road with a poor police officer under the hood trying to get this thing started, possibly to get to the next crime scene. Is this what they think of SAPS? They've turned the South African police service into a joke. And here they are, acting like our saviors. These are not our saviors. These are the people that put us here. These are the people that put us here. Now, this type of thing has been happening since the days of Ndluli. And probably beyond that also. Let me put it into context for you. The last national commissioner this country had that left the office in glory was our first one in the days of Mandela. Since that, everyone's been fired, dismissed, fired, even jailed,
been arrested,
even jailed. So what does it
others
tell
they
you?
evade
So
investigations. Do you think that the best way to investigate this will be an independent panel, not even Madanga, because Madanga is and Matlang and Adok, they are crippled because of. I don't know. I just don't know. I become hopeless in this situation.
I think the Matlanga is doing okay. I think the ad hoc has a few mines in there that are actually being applied. Now, I'll give them a mention. Voter vessels.
Well, look, that is your views.
You can disagree with me, but I'm telling you what I've seen.
No.
Is doing okay.
No, Adok, it's just.
No, Bishop, allow me to.
It's just a bunch of
Allow
losers.
me to. Souls is doing okay. That Vessels boy from the Freedom Front Plus is doing okay. The EFF has its moments. The rest of them, it's very disappointing. It's sad, actually. Because ultimately, we're out there, we're screaming slogans, right? We're loving our children, we're kissing other people's children. But when the opportunity came to make a difference in the lives of children,
yes,
we dropped the ball.
The case of nepotism by Marcel Mola, how far is it?
It's with the IPID right now. I actually spoke to the IPID 2 weeks ago. They are investigating the case. The evidence that I've handed to the IPID, it appears to be very strong. But I'm going to say it again. I'm not an investigator, and I will leave it to the authorities to decide. But if proven to be true, it is damning, because there are allegations of about 13 family members, or let's just say associates of his, that he's brought on board into the subs and sometimes promoted.
Is that not an HR matter?
It depends. Is it an HR matter? If you listen to Mkwanazi, yes. If there's gratification involved, then it's a criminal issue. If there's gratification, and again, this is what we leave to the investigators to determine. So,
and again, why there is that some matter and nepotism cannot be investigated by court, by police. That's my question.
I don't think there's much.
Because it's a serious matter.
No, it's a serious matter. It's a very serious matter. And if you look at IDAC's performance, IPID's performance over the last 10 years or so, they would have to admit that it's been very weak. Because there's been a litany of charges and allegations made against top generals within the SAPS, and nothing's ever come of it. Think of the bulletproof vest, where Mkwanazi's name comes up, where the vest should have cost about 800 Rand and we ended up paying about 6,000 Rand.
So General Mkwanazi was involved in the bulletproof.
His name is mentioned. Think of the Louis Vuitton bags.
Is there any evidence that support that allegations?
So if IPID made a finding that found him to be not guilty, they should have released it. I've not seen it. So cases go to IPID today.
So you want to tell me that IPID is toothless?
It's been toothless since they removed McBride.
There's no longer IPID.
Look, I also don't want to criticize the people that I have to work with, but I have to tell the truth. It appears to be very weak right now.
So you are saying that, and what about the NPA? Is the NPA stronger? Can we then trust the NPA that we have in South Africa?
So here's a surprise. I'm accused of colluding with the NPA. I'm accused of it.
By the parliament?
No, by the generals. They've inferred that there's some type of unhealthy relationship between myself and the NPA. Let me tell you this. 5 months ago, I escorted Hanif Lunat to Grand Central Police Station to lay a charge against the NPA for not doing their work. Because we have a handful of suspects before the court for fraud and corruption and money laundering, and they've not added further suspects whose names are coming up. And we are saying to them, no, rubbish. You are going to charge everyone. So if anybody is accusing me of having some type of relationship with the NPA, then they must explain my presence in that case.
You are an activist, and General Khumalo is labeling you as someone who is not worthy having the information that you have. And I understand that is a serious accusation. Now,
you know what? I take the criticism from where it comes from. When a man that is accused in court of various wrongdoings that have hurt poor people in this country calls me out to be something that whatever, if he paints me to be something else, then I'm okay with it. I take the criticism. You know what? If it was Mandela or Tutu or Sobukwe, I'd feel offended. This is Khumalo. I actually don't give a crap what he thinks. He's not fit to be in that office. He's not fit to be the DivCom of SAPS. He's not fit to be a general. So I actually don't care what he says. And then they call me some type of whatever it is that they call me. You know what I am? I'm the whistleblower in this. And you know what qualifies me?
And you're not treated the same.
Do you know? No. But whistleblowers get treated this way. Go ask Tiani Shlongweni, the previous CFO of Crime Intelligence. Look at the way they handle that man for blowing the whistle. So let me tell you what qualifies me to be a whistleblower to those who ask. I laid the charges. The IG of intelligence called me, asked me for my evidence. I handed it to him. He did an investigation. He's made findings, and the media says that it's against Kumalo and Masimola. That qualifies me to be a whistleblower.
So the IG did this report when?
I've got it on my laptop because I emailed him and asked him if I, as the complainant, could receive a copy of the report, and he said no. But the report has been finished, must be for the last 4 months at least.
Yeah, this is bad. What do you think of Mlotshwa? I mean, Mlotshwa laid it.
Yeah, Bana. If what Mlotshwa says is true, then I say we should bury Mkhwanazi under the prison. If what this man says is true, because remember, it must be tested.
What is the allegations all about?
Rendition, kidnapping, torture, arson. This is the savior of the country he's talking about. Now remember, it's not Fadil Adams saying it. It's not Joe Soap, the taxi driver. It's a policeman.
So you don't believe that Mkhwanazi is a good cop? I mean, there's criminals being shot every week in KZN.
Let me put it.
And I think there, I mean, that is the one point that I love Mkhwanazi. Why I do not agree with Mkhwanazi is to accuse people without
So we were on the same page.
Yeah, to accuse
I used to
people
love
without...
Mkhwanazi because when you watch the news, they were killing criminals. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, every time the criminal shot first, but no policeman has ever been hit.
And you said that in the parliament.
And no police car has ever been hit. Ever. So, I don't know.
Tell me, what happened when the police... Because there is a man in Polokwane, and that case hurt me so much. A man was chasing a criminal, and then he shot a criminal, and the criminal died, and that policeman was sentenced life in prison. There is a man in Mutata who was at the ATM. A criminal went with a knife and stabbed him. He pulled out his firearm and followed the criminal and shot him. And that man is in jail. Do we have a law for some people and we have the law of some people? In other words, I want to say this to you because this is the views that most of we as South African we have, that in this country there is a law for poor and there is a law for those that are in power.
But that's not even in dispute, Bishop. It's the truth.
Why is that we have not had the case of every police that have been killing those criminals in KZN, whether this was a fair way that this criminal, whether it was a criminal or maybe it was not a criminal?
So I can show you an email in my bag addressed to the acting Minister of Police. I want to know from him how many minors have been killed by the PKTT. He does not respond. So
you said you have sent an email to the current
and to the National
Minister of Police
and the National Commission.
And the National Commission, they've not responded.
They've not responded.
Who do they respond to?
They normally respond.
They don't respond to anyone.
They don't respond to certain questions, man.
So they are law unto themselves.
Not the minister, because I've never mailed him about anything.
But Kachale is a good guy. He has been fighting crime when he was an MEC in Gauteng. He has been talking against, he did a very good things.
Do you understand that when you walk into the SAPS, you're walking into an almost criminal enterprise? Do you understand that?
So you are saying SAP is a criminal enterprise?
Isn't it? Isn't it? Look at what's going on top. The 2IC of crime intelligence is a criminal.
Sure.
And she's allowed to operate. And when Kumalo goes on leave, she is in charge.
Adams.
Without proper qualification, without proper clearance. So when she's in charge, the SAPS becomes an entity that is headed by a convicted criminal. Now,
Have you met Ket Matala?
never. I don't want to either.
Do you think that man is a criminal?
Yes, I do.
Why was the criminal being given a tender by SAPS?
And this is what I said to the committee. I said, Vusi Kat Matlala did not award himself a tender. I said, listen carefully. I said to the committee, the National Commissioner has admitted that the IDAC informed him that something was wrong. He then contacted General Fani. Look at how he outsources his responsibility to General Fani. General Fani responds and says, no, all is above board, but if anything happens, we can investigate. Listen to it, if. And then if something happens, it actually does happen.
No.
But by that time, they spent 50 bar on Vusikat Matlala. Now, who's responsible for the 50 billion? What action does the National Commissioner take against General Fani? Nothing. So, can we not reasonably conclude that the National Commissioner somehow might be involved
Do you
in
have
that?
any relationship with General Sbia?
I have never met General Sabia outside of Parliament. Never. I've never called him. I've never messaged him.
What do you think of General Sbia? I mean, you have been talking about Kumalo and all this. What is your view about General Sbia?
Do you know, when Mkwanazi started, I looked around the room and I said, well, it's clearly Mkwanazi versus Sabia. Now, I know as Mkwanazi is calling this press conference that he's lying through his teeth because he's talking about me without mentioning me. So, like, okay, let's look at Sabia. This is me. But then things come out at the committee which are now telling me, listen, guy, I don't know if we have any good generals left.
So you agree with South African views that this general must all be removed? Let's put young generals.
I wouldn't say young, I'd say experienced. Now, you know what the benefit is?
Why not young?
No.
Clearly, there are young policemen who can do a better job. Not those old people that are fighting about. One is the Iris, the BBM. One is,
BBL.
the animals. My view is that General Sibia, General Masemula, General, all these top generals
Must go. Brilliant.
Must be taken aside, and a clear up within the SAPS should take place, because currently, as things stand, we need a reform in the SAPS, and the current SAPS, it's not good for anyone.
And here's what the ANC is fighting with me about. Now, I do agree with you to an extent, but just give me a second. I said we've got 200 generals in the country. What does the ANC say? No, we only have one. Now, when I say generals, I use the broad term: major generals, lieutenant generals, and of course the National Commissioner. They say, no, we only have one. Okay, fine, we only have one National Commissioner. Now, we have lieutenant generals, major generals, brigadiers, right? There's over 200 of them. Do you understand that we're spending about R500 million a year on generals?
For what?
You tell me.
Some of this,
Bishop,
if the office of
Bishop,
there can be an accusation in the office of a national commissioner, which I still believe that both the minister and the cabinet, you guys are failing us.
I don't agree. I don't disagree with you. I agree with you.
You are failing us big time.
If you listen to me,
did you wait for Mkwanazi to do that press conference to actually hold these people accountable?
If you listen to me in the ad hoc committee, I mean, I said we failed. And certain MPs got upset. I said, whoa, guy, it's a self-criticism. I serve on the portfolio. I'm telling you, we failed. We failed. So, yes, but you must look at the reasons why. We were never allowed to hold these people accountable. When I brought the issue of the 100 million rands worth of drug bust that now turned into firearms, it was covered in portfolio, on camera, it's there. When I brought the issue of the hotels that was purchased, it was swept under the carpet.
Who purchased the hotel?
The generals.
Who is general?
It's somewhere between Lushaba and Kumalo.
Which hotel is that?
The Feroz Hotel, and the other one in KZN that I'm struggling to remember.
What are those hotels doing?
I'm telling you, I put my ear on the block, the PKTT is sleeping over there. And I'm telling you, we're being invoiced for them to stay there. I'm telling you now, it's money laundering. Listen to me when I tell you. That building was bought with a... With
Tell us those addresses so that we can go and sleep there. All poor people. Give us those names so that we can tell South Africans to go and sleep there for free.
Now, I can't get fined by Parliament again, but what I can tell you is I recommended to the ad hoc committee, because those hotels are bought with the proceeds of SAPs. I said to the ad hoc committee, subpoena the ledgers. Let's see how much the PKTT is paying to stay in a hotel we own.
Why is that the Auditor General is not looking at and also Public Protector is not looking at the matter of the PKT or the police as a whole, holistically?
So let me tell you something, Bishop. It's not that SAPS has failed. It's the Justice Cluster that has failed. It's the Section 9 institutions that have failed. We have all failed. And the cost for this failure is paid by the children in Lavendale.
And it's you, GNU. You are part of GNU.
No, I'm not part of GNU.
And you have failed us dismally. You have failed the South
Honorable
African
member,
people.
I'm going to ask that you retract that statement. I am not part of the GNU. I'm not part of the GNU. Remember when...
But you're part of the parliament.
Yes, I'm part of the parliament.
And you are part of the failures.
Now, I can tell you, if I wanted to play politics, I could tell you I'm part of the opposition. But I'm going to be honest with you here today. Parliament has failed South Africa. We have all failed. It doesn't matter if you're NCC, EFF, ANC, MKP, Patriotic Alliance, we have all failed. Because when this news hit the fan, there was no united front that said no.
But you, before you became a parliament, you were very vocal about a number of things in Cape Town. And you were known as a strong activist, if I still remember, as we are coming to our conclusions. Have you abandoned that role?
Well, apparently, as a politician and an honorable member of parliament, I can't walk into a place and say, what's going on here? Guys, close it down. That was always my game. If we weren't happy, we just shut you down until you make us happy, if you understand what I'm saying. So there's things I can no longer do. So in a sense, there's a muzzle on me. But you know what?
But can you not use the instrument of the parliament to deal with those issues?
Hey, but that's...
Because people who voted you on the ticket that you are a corrupt bastard.
I still am.
You destroy corruption.
I still am. And let me make this clear to you, Bishop. I had a 5-year plan to help with the cleanup on SAPS. I'm in my 18th month now. I think we're doing well. I think this thing concludes before the end of the year.
Are you not scared that they're going to kill you? I mean, police are dangerous.
I'm expecting it.
You are willing to die for South African, for those that believes in you.
I am willing to die if it means that we save those 10 children dying every day on the Cape Plus. If it means that we save what is it, 300 people that we lose every second day? 300 innocent people every that's madness, man. And these people are watching, and they're buying stuff that don't help in the fight against crime, and they're not putting more boots on the ground because they want Louis Vuitton bags and they want overseas stays. What I almost said cuck is this? Listen to me, General. They can kill me every second week for the next 5 years, but this fight doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. They killed Sindiso. They killed Witness E. They're going to kill a lot more people before this thing is finalized. And I do expect at some stage...
When do we expect more arrest on senior management of this?
Now you have to understand, I've laid the charges and the investigations are underway. I don't want to tell you on the 15th of April. I don't know. I don't know these things. But I believe that the investigations are ongoing. And I'm almost at the point where I want to message the IDAC and say to them in an email, guys, you need to pull your finger out your asses now. But on the issue of death, I don't believe that the murders are going to stop. I don't believe that the people that are hurting the aspirations of controlling the SAPs from beyond the grave is going to stop. I believe that Bekele still controls the SAPs. Remember, these are his appointments, eh?
Local government is coming.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think people should vote you?
We have an ad hoc committee and a Madlanga commission because of my actions, not Mkwanazi's. Mkwanazi played the last card available to him. The SAPS is going to be cleaned out over the next year or two. Maybe our children get to live longer. Maybe criminality starts declining. There's no other party that's had the balls to do this. You think I'm the only politician that information was slipped to? There's no way someone takes a chance at someone he doesn't know and just says, under his door, he'll do the job for us. No way. But we're the only party that stepped forward and said, you know what? They might shoot me in the head a few times, but we're doing this thing.
Do you go to the restaurant freely after everything that has been displayed in the public?
Bishop, do you think these cowards are going to affect the way I live? I should have been dead at 19. Then I should have been dead at 23. Then I should have been dead at 27. I'm 49 years old today by the grace of God. I'm ready to go today if we need to. But they must understand something. They're not dealing with a choir boy. We shoot back.
What is your final word?
I didn't wake up in the morning to fight Mkwanazi. Who fights the most popular man in the country? You have to be able to. You know what? Even the politicians that could see through the charade didn't want to go up against him. But for me, it was a case of, we can't be quiet about this. So my last words on this is, South Africans, think of me what you like. Meme me all you like. But the evidence is there. And time will tell who the liar is. That's the whole story. Cool.
Thank you so much, Adams, for being with us. Thank you so much. The question that I'm leaving with you, viewers, there is that do we still have police in South Africa? Do you think that General Masemola, General Mkwanazi, General Kumala, General Sintumula, and General Musikidi must be suspended, and General Sibi as well, must be suspended to allow the independent investigations into the police? Do you think we still have the police?
Don't forget General Fani.
And General Fani. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Nda.